Chelsea at Selhurst Park, of course. We're off the back of 3 straight defeats. And the one last week against Leicester was the worst of the lot, unfortunately. And I'm not feeling very confident going into this game. I'm not feeling confident. I think that looking how the ways we can beat Chelsea, I think that their defence is still leaky. They've rotated quite a lot at the back four. Frank Lampard, I don't think he's got a nailed-on starting back four. And even when he does have has a fully fit 11, I think his defence is definitely leaky. And it's, even though they got a clean sheet last time out against Watford, I think they're definitely there for the taking if you know, again, you have a perfect game in other areas of the pitch and you are clinical on the break and you look to break quickly. I think you can get at Chelsea. It depends if he plays Alonso and Azpilicueta. I think they're starting to get to the age now where they're losing the yard of pace that they couldn't really afford to lose. And also, you know, they're just starting to get to that point in their career now where playing at that level is probably a bit too much for them. I know that's might be a bit disrespectful to say, but it's coming across that way. I think the last few games we've seen them play, they've made quite a few errors, those two. So left them, the fullbacks, it's going to be crucial depending on the fullbacks. If Reece James is playing and Emerson or someone else on the left back, then I think it's a lot more difficult for us, because having those young energetic fullbacks playing for Chelsea, it makes our life a lot harder, because I think the way to get at them is definitely on the counter-attack, breaking with pace down those flanks, and then putting in crosses, getting bodies in the box, which we didn't do against Leicester. We had no attacking threat whatsoever, and to be honest, I'm not confident we are this time round, but that's the way we get at them, in my opinion. The other end of the pitch is a different story. I think with Giroud or Abraham, they're going to cause us problems, but I do if Dan's starting alongside Cahill, I'm a lot more comfortable with that than Cahill next to any other centre-back. And I'm fully expecting Roy Hodgson to put Scott Dan next to Gary Cahill for this game. If I'm going to do my predicted 11, I'll do it now. Guaita, Ward, Dan, Cahill. And what I want to see is Mitchell at left back. Will he play him in a big game at home to Chelsea? I say big game. We've got nothing really left riding on this season. The players have made it clear that they're not up for a top 8 push, unfortunately. And even if even if the players say differently, unfortunately, the results at the end of the day and the way we played in definitely the Burnley and the Leicester game, the way we played looks like they're on the beach, in my honest opinion. The season for me, as I said, is done. Get the youngsters in. Well, would Roy do that? I don't think he will. I think he will start Van Aanholt. I want Mitchell left back. I'd probably starting Pierre against Chelsea might be a big ask for him, you know, because if we're looking to get a result. But to be honest, the way Zaha's been playing, he's not really been on it. He can't do any worse than Zaha. So I'm not too fussed. Left back or for Zaha at right wing, I'm not too fussed. Maybe he'd start him ahead of Ayew. I'm all for that as well. Pierre starting ahead of Ayew. But I think he'll start with the same midfield 3. Maybe put Gyro. He's sticking with Gyro in there. I don't think Yarte is fully fit still. And then Benteke, Ayew, Zaha, or Benteke, Pierre-Emerick Zaha, Benteke, Ayew, Zaha, Pierre-Emerick, sorry. Any one of those combinations. But youngsters is the key for me from now to the end of the season. And I don't see there's no excuse not to. If I know that it's a big team and then we run the risk with, you know, youngsters against some of these big teams are getting hammered. But I think the fans are much more willing to accept a big defeat if we have more youngsters in the team, because it's just something to get positive about. It's giving them game time experience, and I think they've got the mentality to be able to deal with a bad result if we do get one. But I honestly don't think they could do any worse than the first 11 right now. That's my preview. I'm predicting a 2-1 Chelsea win. I'm giving ourselves a goal. I know that's optimistic since we haven't scored in three and a bit games, but it's not much to be positive about, I know, but I want to try and stay positive, and I know that's a defeat I'm predicting there, but a 2-1 defeat against Chelsea isn't the end of the world. I think that would show a bit of progression from a 3-0 thumping away to Leicester.
So guys, obviously our first game back in the season restart, we obviously beat Aston Villa 2-1, and then we beat City 2-1, then we beat Leicester 1-0, and then the blip come in between Leicester and the West Ham game. Obviously In the Leicester game, we obviously beat Leicester 1-0. However, we really struggled. We had a really bad performance. Even though we won, we did struggle. And then that carried over to the West Ham game. And then we obviously got beat 3-2 by West Ham. However, we turned it around on Saturday night and beat Watford 3-0. I know Watford are lower in the table. However, we had a good performance. And Watford did put out a fight against us. So we did do really well. So we've had 4 wins and 1 loss. Now, yeah, like... it sounds like 4 wins, oh great, but we know that some of them games haven't been great, and obviously we lost against West Ham. But if you look at that ratio, 4-1, we've done pretty well, you know. We've done well, we've had blips, but what team hasn't in this season restart? The boys will be fired up, ready for the game tomorrow, I believe. I feel like we just needed to get our confidence back after the West Ham game. We did that against Watford and now be ready to go again against Crystal Palace. It'll be interesting to see what Team Frank puts out tomorrow. Obviously, it is a London derby. It is a big game. There's rivalry there. It's going to be really weird for there to be no fans there at a game like that. Crystal Palace is always a really hard away ground to go to. Obviously, Crystal Palace fans are very passionate, so it's always difficult going there. However, there's no fans there tomorrow, so that might benefit us slightly. But Frank Lampard's press conference, let's talk about that. So that took place at 1:30 today. Frank started by talking about Kante. He won't be in the squad. He has a low-level hamstring injury, so it will be a week or so, hopefully. Kovacic trained today, but will also be unavailable tomorrow, as will Tomori. So we have got a few injury issues at the moment, unfortunately. Now, Frank believes Manchester United are the biggest threat from behind us in the table, as they have plenty of quality individual players and are gaining momentum. However, he states our emphasis remains on us and our performances. Yeah, that's important. I think obviously you've got to look at what's going on around you in the table. That obviously has a big bearing on the team. But at the end of the day, we have to focus on ourselves, and all we can do is keep winning games. And the players will already be feeling the pressure. We don't want to get too pressurised by other teams. Obviously, you have to keep a close eye on what's going on around you in the table. However, you've just got to concentrate on yourselves. Now, Lampard reports that Jorginho has been very professional and trains well every day, despite not having featured since the season restart. He says the tactical reasons behind team selection remain between him and the players. Lampard believes Ruben Loftus-Cheek can contribute in the coming weeks, but will really be aiming to hit the ground running next season after another mini pre-season to boost his fitness. Now, I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think he's got lots of potential. He just needs to find his feet again in the games and stuff. And yeah, we know how good he is. It's the same with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Like, the injuries really affect these players, and by the time they come back after an injury, players have took their positions and they've got to fight for that back. And like, obviously they can't perform to what they did before they got the injury as such, so it's really difficult for them players. But I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I hope he does get back to what he was, because he was such a great player for us. We know how good he is. Like, when he's had his chance in this season restart, I think he's been fabulous, you know. Now, there was a question on comparison between Pulisic and Hazard, and that's what a lot of us fans have been talking about, and I've talked about it on this channel. Eden has been here and done it on an incredible level. Christiansen is taking responsibility to change games and has a lot of development to come. Yeah. So yeah, score prediction for tomorrow night, guys. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea win. Hopefully we keep a clean sheet. Hopefully it's like another 3-0 like the Watford game. However, I do think it'll be 3-1. I've just got a feeling. I haven't actually got a score prediction right for a while, so let's hope tomorrow night is the night. But I do want us to keep a clean sheet anyway.